to say right now. We've got so much things to say. We've got so much things to say right now. Yes, we've got so much things to say. Hey, I'll never forget no way how they crucified Jesus Christ. You see, I'll never forget no way how they sold Marcus Garvey for rice. Hey, I'll never forget no way how they turned their backs up on bogus children. So don't you forget no way who you are and where you stand in the struggle. We say, hey, so much thing, so much thing, so much thing, so much thing. We've got so much things to say. Hey, I and I have not come to be. Hey, truth we just through our innocency. Let's go. Good afternoon, viewers from Nigeria, across Africa, and around the world. This is Smart Madu Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN, and the Nightingale Radio International from Houston, Texas, United States of America. Yes, we're having connection problems with those viewing from Facebook. I don't know why that is. Yes, Smart Madu Ajaja from Houston, Texas, United States of America, anchor Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. Without wasting a lot of time, what we are talking about today is the sexual harassment scandal rocking the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, actually involving the highest ranking officer, Senator Godswill AKPABIO. Is it really God's will or Satan's will? Yeah, but that's his name. They say his name is Godswill AKPABIO. Dubious man, two-time governor of Akwa Ibom State, and then minister of Niger Delta, Ministry of Niger Delta. He was the minister of Niger Delta affair. Everywhere he went was fraud. As governor, Akwa Ibom was the highest earner of revenue accruing from oil. Yes, so he had a feed day with stealing the money there. They said he did so much, but the people don't know how much he received, as a governor of the oil-rich state. Yeah, he stole so much. He stole the state blind. Yes, Akwa Ibom. He stole Akwa Ibom blind. They said he built a lot of roads, but he did not build human capital. Unemployment is at its worst in that state as we speak right now. Majority of the people, the young people there, are unemployed. So what did he build? He built a stadium and named it again. He named it. He put the stadium in his own name. Who does that? It's only in Nigeria. A serving governor, a serving president will name monuments after himself in his lifetime. He doesn't give himself the opportunity to be x-rayed by others, so that whatever is named after him will be something that he merited. This is what they do in Nigeria. Nigeria has become like a joke where little kids play. Nigeria is a banana republic. Yes, the most populous country in Africa. 250 million Nigerians being treated like worms, being treated like rats, being treated like roaches by some of its worst. Yeah, because the people of Nigeria do not have, really, they don't choose their leaders. The leadership come apart in Nigeria through manipulation. Yes, the right people never lead. The institutions in Nigeria, all the democratic institutions in Nigeria, are in the hands of crooked people. So they connive in a deadly conspiracy against the destiny of the country and the good of the people. That is how criminals like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, a thief, big thief, a drug dealer, certificate forger, and an identity thief. That's how they emerge as leaders. Yes, that's how Kashin Shettima, a terrorist with ties to Boko Haram, that's how he emerged. And that is how Senator God's will AKPABIO, whether Satan's will AKPABIO, that's how they emerge. Not because they have abilities, not because they have knowledge, not because they have competency, not because they have the courage to do right, not because they have this exceptional content of character required to build, utilize, expand, extend, yes, and sustain capacity for the good of the country and its people. Because they are thieves. You have to be a thief to be a leader in Nigeria. The leaders of Nigeria are not in power. Like the leaders of Africa are not in power. The true leaders of Africa, the true leaders of Nigeria are not in power. It's sad. Yes, yes, I'm driving. But I'm driving hands-free. So I'm safe. So I am watching and speaking at the same time. It's fun. So there's no problem. I am very, very security conscious when it comes to that. Right now, I'm at a traffic light. You see, I can stop and look. Thank you very much, Amish. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Yo, you call me a true leader, the supreme leader in power. I don't know about that, but I try to do good. You know, I just I'm imperfect person. You know, who want the best for humanity. It doesn't matter in India, in Nigeria, in Africa, in the United States, and everywhere. So I hope and I'm very happy that some people see benefit in what I'm doing. So thank you very much. You are watching from India. I love you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I've been to India once. I've been to Bombay. Bombay was 1992. I was in Bombay. Great, big, sprawling country. Well, that is what it is right now. So I am talking about the Senate president, the rogue Senate president of Nigeria. In the first place, he did not win an election. That's the most painful thing. He came through the back doors, smuggled himself into the Senate, and he was crowned for this purpose of destroying Nigeria by the criminal holding Nigeria hostage. I'm talking about no other person than Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the rogue president of Nigeria, who never won an election. He lost so badly in that election. But they have purchased all the institutions in Nigeria. All the strategic institutions were purchased ahead of time. Yes, they purchased the army. Our army is a corrupt army, useless. One of the most useless armed forces in Nigeria. In Africa is the Nigerian armed forces. Useless, terrible, horrible. There are some good men in the army, but they don't have access to making anything happen. The criminals who lead them are politicians. They don't understand that the army of any and every nation is supposed to be insulated from politics. Their allegiance is supposed to be to the state and not to any government. Their allegiance, they don't understand. The Nigerian, typical Nigerian army commander, those at the leadership level are dumb asses. They don't understand. They are corrupt too. They are corrupt and dumb. Two things: ignorant, corrupt, and dumb. They don't know the difference between the state and the government. They don't understand the meaning of government. Now, let me define government for them. Government is the machinery through which the will of the state is formulated, expressed, and realized. Yes, but in Nigeria, it is the opposite. In Nigeria, it's ruin, destroy everything. Yes. So whenever they are in power, they are appointed, they think that they are appointed allegiance against the people of Nigeria and against the sovereignty of Nigeria. That is why they are used to do all kinds of dirty things, to repress the people, to kill the people, to shoot the people, but they are shy of killing and shooting Boko Haram members, those who are violating and assaulting the sovereignty of Nigeria. That is how the Nigerian security forces work. They walk in reverse gear. They walk like people who have no brains. When they see Boko Haram, they will remove their uniforms and start running. Yes, that is what they do. They are the ones who put Nigeria in this mess that we are in, because they are not doing their jobs. Yes, so, well, that is a digression. What we are talking about right now is the Senate, rogue Senate president of Nigeria, Senator, do I call him Senator? Senator, sin, is a sinner. Senator, God's will, Satan's will, AKPABIO. Yes. Because if he was God's will, he will do good for Nigeria. God is not an ugly man. Yeah, but he took the name of God's will and is doing the work of Satan. Yes. Now, he has to respond to this question. Yes, when the young lady alleged that he was sexually harassing her, they went hurriedly, suspended her for 6 months from the Senate, stripped her all of her rights as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, disgraced her, embarrassed her, humiliated her, and she found her way to the United Nations, where she made a speech. Yes, today as we speak, there is an unease in the Nigerian Senate. Yes, the hell, Senate of evil men, Senate of thieves, Senate of mostly rogues, and corrupt and morally bankrupt people. They don't represent the interest of Nigeria. What? Yeah, Awinish Kuma, he said to me, one day you'll be president of Nigeria. Well, if the Almighty says so, I will have no choice. And or the Almighty knows that I will do a good job, because he sent me on this mission that I am. I did not choose myself to do this. I am not the smartest Nigerian. I am not the richest Nigerian. I don't have money, but the Almighty empowered me with a rare voice. Yes. And I'm going to continue to speak until the people of Nigeria start hearing. Nigerians are mostly deaf right now. They are not hearing because they have made them deaf. They have made them impervious to common sense. They have made them so poor that all they think first is about their stomach right now. They don't think about their children. They don't think about their future. Everybody is about what they will eat right now. And it doesn't matter where the food comes from. They will jump it. Can you imagine a country as rich as Nigeria? A country as the most populous African nation has been turned into a banana republic. It hurts. It hurts that Nigeria, the most populous African country, yes, one of the richest countries in the world, has been turned into a banana republic by a few people and their imperial collaborators. This is the reason we are asking the people of Nigeria, come on, listen. Let us build this country. Our country has everything. We have no reasons to be beggars. We have no reason to be receiving aid from those who come to steal from our country, and they come and tell us that they are doing us so good, and then they are giving us aid. We have everything. Why can't we look at one another in our faces and say, we have had enough of this tragedy of leadership. Now let us change things around and start putting the best people in power so they can do good for us. That is the essence of our message. That is why I exist. That is the reason why I believe I was given this tough job, very risky job that I'm doing, the toughest job. Yes, I'm busier than the corrupt president. I have a personal life. I work. I have a family that I take care of. And on top of that, I take care of a lot of people, a lot of poor people in Nigeria who have no access to opportunity. You know what they did to me? They went now, the rogue government, for in the past nearly 2 years, they froze my bank account so I won't be able to help people. But they don't understand that I'm a Rasta. When you block a Rasta, it turns it into inspiration. So that is what they have been doing everything to silence me, to stop me, including sending me death threats. But unfortunately for them, they cannot touch me. Yeah, that is where they have a problem. So this message turns them crazy. We made them sleepless at night and restless in the day. Yes, we are hoping that in no distant time, our message will trigger something in Nigeria. We are not going to stop. We are not going to stop. We will not stop until the people of Nigeria wake up. Yes. Yes, they don't have the courage to stand the truth. Absolutely. Yeah, that is why they are restless. They are raging with livid anger, but they cannot touch me because I was crafted for this purpose. And until the work is done, nobody will touch me. And until the whole of Nigeria start understanding and start working with this rare message, I will not be touched. And they will not touch me. And even if they do anything, somebody tougher than me will come up. So that's how it is. So we are planting a seed of liberation. And that seed we are watering so until it germinates and grow into big trees that nobody can cut down anymore. Right now, so that's what it is. So Mr. AKPABIO, who is supposed to be Senate President, is corrupt, massively corrupt, squarely corrupt, roundly corrupt, brutish, yes, savage, evil, horrible, satanic, just like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is why they are working in tandem to destroy Nigeria. They award the country's mineral and natural resources to themselves, to the detriment and at the expense of the people. Our people have become so repressed. And if anybody stands up to them, it becomes a problem. So Natasha stood up. He's a young senator here from Kogi Central in the Kogi state of Nigeria. She stood up to ask questions why things are going wrong. Instead of them allowing her, you know, what they did is they changed her seat. Yeah, that was where the whole thing started. And now she raised her finger and said she started order 10. Why is my seat changed? Why was my sitting arrangement changed without a prior information? Who knows what they had planted on her seat to kill her? Because when you become vocal in Nigeria, they will do everything to kill you. So they will continue to have their way. So this young lady asked this question. It didn't go well with her abuser. The abuser who has been tormenting her, demanding for sex from her, and she refused to give the sex, you know. And then he said, okay, you know, your seat at the Senate is endangered. We are going to remove it from you. So she dared her. She dared him. And asked a question. Why was my sitting arrangement altered? That was where hell was let loose. You know, they're like, okay, you are a woman in the first place. Who are you to be asking a Senate president, yes, who behaves like he's a god in Nigeria? Why should you be asking me? You have the audacity, you have the temerity to stand up and ask me a question. They slammed her there, shut her down, humiliated her, suspended her, and took her through a kind of investigation, like as if she was a criminal. Yeah, by the criminal. The criminals now are the one investigating her. And it became so sad that one who ran away from the United States here, one who was a lawyer here in New York, whose law license was removed from him, became the chairman of an ethics committee in Nigerian Senate. The chairmanship, the leadership of an ethics committee is supposed to be reserved for somebody who stands on a very high moral high ground. Oh my God, Nigeria is a mess. Corruption has destroyed Nigeria. Can you imagine a corrupt person handing down such a draconian punishment for a young lady? They stripped her bare. Yes, they made her cry. Disrespected all the women in Nigeria. And you know what? There are women in that Senate. They purchased those women to reduce their fellow women to the dust. They raised her down. They reduced her to rubble. But we will not have it. I'm a child of a woman. My mom was a very good woman. My mom was a strong woman. My mom was a passionate woman. My mom was a good mother. Not just to us, a mother to all. A mother to the very educated. People, she was a counselor. People will come, both high and low. They will come and seek counsel from my mom. Who dare you is an AKPABIO. Not properly formed. Not raised. From what we see now, he had no father figure in his life. His mother struggled to raise him. And for a man whose mother, a single woman, raised, and he got and became somebody, he's supposed to be one of the greatest defenders of women. But no, AKPABIO is an abuser of women. AKPABIO dismantled that woman. They destroyed her. They made her cry. They made the nation cry. They made womanhood cry. Yes. Hustled her out of the Senate. Shut her up and told her that she should never present herself anywhere on earth as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Who the hell are they? A bunch of criminals. That is why AKPABIO must go. Just more details of what AKPABIO had done to that woman are sufficient, including sending her 500, allegedly sending her 500 million naira for him to have a virtual sex with her. She asked her to finger herself and smell the liquid coming out of her vagina, and then for her to describe the smell, the scent of what came out of her vagina. Who violates a woman like that in the 21st century? Who does that? When at a time, millions of young, poor Nigerians are living below poverty line. There are 30 million poor, innocent Nigerian children in the north of Nigeria begging from AM to PM, 7 days of the week, 4 weeks of the month, 12 months of the year. A lot of time, these children go for weeks without shower. They have no form. Not just 10, not 2. Over 30 million of that. Over 30 million soldiers of Nigeria. Over 30 million promises of Nigeria being buried alive. With this set of criminals holding our country hostage. They hold our country hostage as traditional rulers. They hold our country hostage as political leaders. They hold our country hostage as religious leaders. They hold our country hostage on up front. Children in Nigeria are AKPABIO and his colleagues are paying 500 million naira for sex, for virtual sex. We all do shit, but who should pay anybody? Who should take money from his country's coffers to give to someone? Yes, in a country where many people go to bed on empty stomachs, something got to give. Something got to give in Nigeria. We need a revolution in Nigeria. Nigerians, you must be prepared to rebel, because these criminals holding you hostage, they don't mean well for Nigeria and its people. They don't mean well for the future of Nigeria. They don't mean well for the children of Nigeria. They don't mean well for Africa, because Nigeria is Africa. If Nigeria rises, the whole of Africa will rise. These criminals are holding Africa hostage. They are the reason Nigeria is not at the forefront of leading the struggle for the unification of Africa. They are diminishing the stature of Nigeria. We must not allow them to continue. So this is the reason why we should not be angling for an election unless after we push them out. Yes, this is a call to unite the people of Nigeria against these criminal elites in Nigeria. Yeah, that show themselves in the political class. They show themselves through the religious institutions. They show themselves as drivers of corporate Nigeria. They surface as the drivers of the traditional institutions in Nigeria. We must bankrupt the Nigerian system and then come up with a new way forward for our country. Erect a new solid and expandable and elastic foundation that will accommodate all Nigerians of various backgrounds. Yes, in a manner that all of us can live in peace, including those who come to Nigeria. Yes, with good mind and good heart to be investors or immigrants to Nigeria. Because Nigeria was supposed to be like the United States in Africa. Nigeria was crafted to be like the United States in Africa, that will accommodate as many people who will come and advance a cause for her and the economy of the country. It's a great diversity. But these criminals are diminishing who we are as a people and what we represent as a country. They make our country impossible. They make the unification of our country impossible. They are so divisive. They are talking about North and South. Yes, they are talking about North and South. The same thing we have talked about since 1960, when the country became independent. Yes, 6 years after independence, the country descended. Yeah, they descended, they connived and descended on one group, one ethnic group, one of the most progressive ethnic groups in Nigeria. They descended on them because from those people from that area started asking questions. This is not the Nigeria we want to see. Yes, when it was over, with the help of Imperial Britain and other parts of Imperial Europe, they killed over 5 million of them. Yes, using various strategies, including starvation. Look at where the country is right now. 64 years after, Nigeria is a zoo. When people say Nigeria is a zoo, they get angry. They call you unpatriotic for saying that Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria is actually a zoo being led by animals. Only animals are leaders. We're a country where animals are the leaders of good people. What do you call that country? It's a zoo. Why do they get angry? Yes, when some people say that Nigeria is a zoo, get angry and let us build it. I want Nigeria to get away from the status of a zoo. I want the country to get away from the status of a zoo. Why do we get angry when people say Nigeria is a zoo? Okay, who is your president? A drug dealer, a certificate forger, an identity thief, a fraudster, a killer with so much blood in his hands. Yes, he killed people in America through commercial sale of drugs. He killed a lot of people in Lagos because those people opposed him. He wants to be the landlord of everybody. He unleashes thugs to manipulate and kill people in there. But because Nigeria is a lawless place, Nigeria is for the highest bidder, they are never prosecuted for their crimes against humanity. Now he has an opportunity. He has the lever of power. He's killing more people through his corrupt and evil policies. Yes, he has a house in France. Yeah, we hear now that the French army that Burkina Faso drove away, the Niger drove away, the Chadians drove away, the Malians drove away. They are inside Nigeria now, doing what? So we are going to see worse unless we unite, rebel, and revolt, and destroy the Nigerian system. You hear what I say? We must unite, set our differences aside, come together as one country and one people to dismantle the Nigerian system that breeds these criminals as leaders in the political class, as leaders in the traditional institution, as leaders of our armed forces, as leaders of the religious sector, and as leaders on upfront of Nigeria. The rebellion that will take place in Nigeria must be all-encompassing, and no sector will be spared, including the church and the mosque. They must be swept clean. Yes, unless we do that, we are not going to have the type of Nigeria we want. Unless we do that, we will continue to have abusers like AKPABIO. Yes, at the Senate, Bola Tinubu at the presidency, who is the one at the House of Representatives. Yes, where they could not count. They were supposed to count people. There were people who were opposed to what was happening, what is happening in Rivers State today. Yes, you see, somebody went and declared a state of emergency without involving the National Assembly. After he declared it, he quickly appointed a military administrator with ties to one of the parties, you know, in the disagreement in Rivers State. what a country and what a people. And our people are silenced. They are made to keep quiet. They use the army to silence them. Yes, the army that does not know its truth. I think I'm going to have to recommend that the leaders of the Nigerian armed forces go to Egypt to find out what the soldiers in the Egyptian army did when Hosni Mubarak was in power and the people wanted him out. The army stayed completely out of it. They warned Hosni Mubarak when it was time that he has to leave. And Hosni Mubarak had no choice but to leave. But in Nigeria, what are you talking? Christopher Musa, yes, who is supposed to be the chief of defense staff of Nigeria, the anchor of the defense of our country's territorial integrity and sovereignty, is the one making the most political statement, warning the people of Nigeria against rising up against the bad government. Yes, an evil government. Because he has been paid money. He has been given money to repress the soldiers in the armed forces. That is what they do in Nigeria. So this is the reason why we must uproot the system and create a new system that will regulate how our security forces operate, that will regulate how our electoral office operate, that will regulate how we treat one another, then our relationship between the citizens and the state, and between the government and the citizens. Yes, this is what must happen. If we don't have this, we can't have a Nigeria. We can't have the Nigeria of our dream. Evil men, criminals like AKPABIO will continue to dominate our polity. Yes, if Nigeria was open, AKPABIO will never have reason to be to the position he is. Yes, leadership in Nigeria is for criminals. When you go to the political party level, then it starts from there. They will skim out all the good people, all the leaders of Nigeria are skimmed out. They lock them out of the gate and make it impossible for them to be anything. If Obama was born in Nigeria, Obama would be riding a motorcycle as a transporter using motorcycle. Yes. When Obama became president, a year prior to him becoming a president, Obama, I believe, did not have the amount of money I had in my savings account in the United States at the time. But what happened? America saw something in him, and they chose him as leader. Warren Buffett did not say, oh no, I am the richest Democrat. Obama cannot have his way. I have another candidate. No, Warren Buffett bought into it and actually financed a great part of Obama's campaign. I contributed, everybody contributed because they saw a promise for America. He turned around their economy. Yes, even though I do not like Obama for what he did in Africa, but for the American people, he did a great job. He did a great job for the American people. He did a great domestic job here. What I did not like was what he did in Africa. Invading Libya and destabilizing the Sahel, that is now affecting Nigeria. All the terrorists that left Libya, they came into Nigeria. All the arms that the dissidents in Libya had, they floated into Nigeria. And they are using those arms to destroy Nigeria. That is the qualms I have with him. But those who lead Nigeria, they can't think. They are stupid. Yes, show me anyone that is sensible. They go there to share money at the National Assembly. That is what they cannot oppose this evil man, because they are in allegiance with him. Yeah, they are in a conspiracy to destroy their country. You don't have any opposition in the National Assembly as it is here in the United States. Even as rough as Donald Trump tried to play, you still see people standing up to him to tell him, no, you cannot do this. Yes, we don't have that in Nigeria. What we have is an assemblage of criminals driven by selfish aggrandizement. All they go there to do is to make money and not to serve the people. They don't serve the people, they trash the people. They are evil men. They are thieves, mostly thieves. I don't see anyone that is not a thief in the Nigerian National Assembly. I don't see a governor in Nigeria that is not a thief. I don't see the leaders of the Nigerian Armed Forces that is not a thief. I don't see a traditional ruler in Nigeria that is not stealing. Maybe except one that is my friend. Yeah, he was a good man. He was my classmate. I know him and he knows me. He's an activist. But people like him, they don't allow them speak where the traditional rulers are gathered. They would say he comes from a small town. Can you imagine traditional rulers? Honestly, if they are true traditional rulers. I tell them, your sovereignty of your kingdoms died at independence. But we decided to keep you, so we continue to talk about our customs and tradition. But they have all abandoned their customs and tradition. Some of them, some of them have churches in their palaces. How can you do that and be a traditional ruler? Yeah, a traditional ruler. Yeah, that's what they are doing. They are liars, they are hypocrites, they don't believe in God. They say they are, what are they? Yeah, for the most part, except my friend. I still trust him. We speak when we have to speak. But the rest of them are criminals. They are thieves. They make political endorsement. A traditional ruler has no business talking about politics or endorsing any politician. If they say they are royal fathers, like they call them, royal my foot. Yes, a royal father is supposed to be a father for all. A royal father is not supposed to be seen taking political position, especially when members of his community are involved at opposing levels. Here we are, Nigeria, the country, the banana republic of Africa. So see why AKPABIO and the likes of him are doing what they are doing. It's not just limited to the political class. The same thing is happening in corporate Nigeria. Those who drive the economy, private sector in Nigeria, like Dangote, they are all beneficiaries of the fraud that Nigeria has become. Yes, they kill, they rob, they conspire against the destiny of the country. They destroy the country's economy to benefit themselves. And they come and become the richest men of Africa for work not done. Yes, all they do is do things with their connection, insider trading. Yes, Dangote now has, they have helped him destroy NNPC, destroy all the refineries in Nigeria don't work, because that is what the people wanted, what they wanted, the drivers of evil in Nigeria. Now they established a refinery, a mobile refinery, and say we know who the investors are. Dangote refinery. What work did Dangote do? What job did he do? What did he do to amass so much money? Yes. And then there's another one they call BUA. Yes. Every government in power, they are there. Have you ever seen, what do you call it? Dangote criticize Boko Haram? No, he cannot say that. Have you ever seen him, heard him say anything bad against the Fulani bandits? No, he's not going to say it, because he's a part of it, remotely. Yes, but Nigeria has handed over its economy to him. Yes, so you see the trouble with Nigeria. Then the members of the other members of the corporate Nigeria, those who drive the private sector, they are all thieves. They own the banks. Every transaction you make in a Nigerian bank attracts a fee. Every transaction. And then because they connive with the corrupt National Assembly, those ones don't do anything to regulate them. But here in the United States, banks don't charge people for every transaction. No. Banks don't charge people for every transaction. So these people are leeching Nigeria. They are stealing, they are killing Nigerians. Every minute, a Nigerian is being robbed by these corrupt financial institutions. The fucking Senate and the House of Representatives, they know about it. But because they all belong to the same evil class, they don't see anything. And Nigeria is a place where young girls are traded by these financial institutions in the name of what? Marketing. They prostitute them. Yeah, they are all pimps. Yes. They look for very beautiful girls who they send to go meet people in the public, especially the elite class, who force them to have sex with them in order to open bank accounts with them. Is that not a national emergency that ought to be addressed? But I thank God that a Daniel is coming to judgment. A Daniel through a woman, yeah, who was born here and has so much love for Nigeria. I'm talking about Ajo Elumelu. Yes, if you are a woman listening to me right now, if you are a woman listening to me right now, you better join her. She is fighting. She is fighting to ensure a place for the woman, Nigerian woman, so that the abuse of the Nigerian woman will end. To join her in what she does, I want you to check out the Ajo Elumelu Foundation.org, www.ajomorganelumelufoundation.org. Check it out. If you are a Nigerian woman, you connect with her from there. She has ways that you can connect her to be part of what she's doing. She's fighting tooth and nail for Nigeria to implement the United Nations recommendation for the inclusion of women in political leadership, 35%. She's the leader of the 35% movement. Yes, we're going to be talking to her very soon, and so that she will throw more light on what she does and the work at her hand that she's doing to inspire the Nigerian women to demand for their rightful place in Nigeria, so that all these abuses by corrupt men, yes, who have taken turns for 64 years to run their country down, will come to an end. I believe that if women in Nigeria are given the right women, and I'm not talking about the corrupt one, because they do have corrupt women in Nigeria who work, like Ita Giwa and the other one, what's her, King Gibe, what's her name? Yes, Ireti King Gibe, who shamelessly came out to talk in favor of AKPABIO, who has become an asshole, abusing women in Nigeria. Yes, they stink. They stink. Yes, so we'll be bringing Ambassador Ajo Elumelu very soon, on our platform here to shed more light on what she is doing, what the Ajo Elumelu Foundation is doing, and what the 35 movement is doing. Yes, 35% movement is doing to inspire women of Nigeria and Africa to a greater height. So check that out. It's coming soon. I'm going to be bringing her for a serious close-up interview, so she can put it the way she knows best, better than I am doing right now. But the Open Nigeria ideological consciousness is behind her. The ONN is heavily, massively behind the endeavor, because we love women, we protect women, we fight for women. We do not want to see a country where women are disrespected the way they are in Nigeria by some corrupt men, not really good men, by bad men, terrible men who have a problem maladjusted men in Nigeria that drive the political class in Nigeria, drive the elitist class in Nigeria. They are evil, they are useless, as bad as AKPABIO. All of them are involved with what AKPABIO does. They are all abusing women. They are the ones reducing women to rubble, destroying women. They don't care about women. They don't care about anybody. Yes, they forget that their mothers are women. So the abuse got to end. So AKPABIO, I am calling you right before I leave to come and defend yourself on this allegation of you paying 500 million naira for virtual pussy. Yes, when at the time Nigerian young people are dying, at a time millions of Nigerians are displaced and in IDP camp. Yes, so did you really wire 500 million naira to Senator Natasha Akpoti? Yes, asking her to finger her own pussy and then smell it and describe the scent of her vagina fluid for you. All right? So are you an OBGYN doctor? So what did you do with the test result that she sent to you? We want to know, we want to hear from you. Did you really do it? Did you really do it? And if you did it like they say that you did, because since this news broke, we have not heard you issue any statement of a rebuttal or denier, which means by implication you did it. If you did it, you deserve to be arrested Yes, arrested, tried, and then when you are sentenced, you ought to be taken to the center of the Sahara Desert with some hot Cheetos and some jars of hot water so you can drink there and be there for a while. Maybe perhaps in purgatory until you come out and be clean again. You know, we don't want anything, we don't want you to die, but we want you to pay a price. What you did and what you and others are doing is a crime against humanity and a sin against God. You found yourself in a position of authority where you ought to be making a difference. What did you do? You took all the money from Nigeria's coffer, to advance a cause for your own self and your own children. Why millions of Nigerian children and youths, totaling over 75% of the entire country's population, live below poverty line? You are not a human being. You and your colleagues are not a human being. To you Nigerians, I tell you again, these people are able to organize themselves and line themselves against you. But you cannot organize yourself to push back and push them off the cliff. It means that you have some mental problem. If it is politics, set politics aside. It is your life now that is on the line. If it is any other thing, it is life of the Nigerian people on the line. It is the life of Nigeria as a country on the line. What will you do when the life of your country is on the line? What do you do when your own life is on the line? What do you do when you face an existential threat like the ones Nigerians are facing? The only thing I know that we should do is to rise up in self-defense. Self-defense is a universal doctrine ordained by the Almighty God. It's spiritual, it's biological. Yes, we must stand up against the drivers of this ugly Nigerian system and break them down and take our country back. Good day, and I'll see you in my next stream. I love you guys. Yeah, I see you in my next stream. I love you guys more than anything. And for those who have not subscribed to our channel, I beg you, please do. We want to build an organic movement, organic global movement that will help humanity, help the cause of humanity. We may mention Nigeria a lot of time, but I believe that what is troubling Nigeria is somehow troubling some country, some people somewhere else around the world. So use it. Wherever you see Nigeria, apply your country's name to it, so it will jive and move forward from there. Thank you very much for always joining us. We love you and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.